Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Her tea time. Come on in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We have made it to another end of the work week. Good morning. Come on in, say good morning as you come in. And if you would do me a favor and hit that share button and share it with someone on your page. Good morning, good morning. Say good morning as you come in. Good morning. Good morning. This is a beautiful day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Say good morning as you come in so that I will know who is there. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, good morning. Going to get started in just a couple minutes. Just a couple minutes. It's exciting to see the end of another work week. Anybody else excited? I know I am. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Coach Sandara, and I invite you here to join me for this Her Tea Time discussion. And so for those of you who may share it on your page and Your friends may not know who I am. I am Coach Sandara, and my mission is to assist women to gain more clarity, more consistency, more confidence as they are searching for their purpose in their personal life, professional life, or business. So I love to empower and coach women. I love to push women to be their very best selves. But I come to you with the Her Tea Time just to offer some nuggets and some encouragement and some motivation. Again, if you have not shared, if you would please share this on your page with your friends this morning so that they can too be encouraged. Now, this is mostly for women, but I do believe that men will be able to relate as well. I hope that you have your tea or your coffee, whatever it is that you are drinking this morning while we have this discussion. So this morning, I kind of want to have this discussion about self-care as it relates to our emotions. And I said I was going to go live in Clubhouse also. Give me just a moment. I am going to try Clubhouse this morning. If you are not on Clubhouse, or if you are on Clubhouse and you want to join the discussion, you can do so. I am live on Clubhouse as well. Again, I want to have this good morning on my business page. Good morning, Teresa. I want to have this discussion about self-care as it relates to our emotions. The reason I feel like this is a very valuable and very important topic is because our emotions are really what control us. And if our emotions are not in check, all kind of things happen. Can anybody relate? When our emotions are not in check, meaning that we are not in control of our emotions, all kind of things happen. We respond to things, we say things, we react to things that we wouldn't normally respond to. And that's because our emotions are not where they need to be. Good morning, Instagram. Not where they need to be. And I came on to have this discussion with us about self-care as it relates to our emotions, because I think many of us believe that self-care is, doing those things for ourselves, like getting our hair done, getting our nails done, putting on makeup, and those kind of things. But I want to tell you that self-care is much deeper than those things. Self-care is much deeper than those things. Good morning again on Instagram. Good to see you. Self-care is much more than those things. And so I want to talk about this morning about self-care relating to our emotions. Why is this important? Because we can't act all kind of way. We can't show out when we want to show out. We can't respond to everything that comes up. Because the truth of the matter is, some things we really need to ignore. But if our emotions are not in check, then we find ourselves responding and acting crazy about all kind of things. So this morning, I want to have this discussion. I know that you are watching, but you can type and you can join in on the conversation at any time, So, why are emotions important? Our emotions are what people connect with. Our emotions. Our emotions are how people get to know us. Our emotions is what cause people to attract to us, be it in female-female relationships or be it male-female relationships. Our emotions are very, very, very important. And if we don't keep them in check, yes, Sabrina, acting cray-cray, responding to things that really don't deserve our attention. And that's one thing we got to realize. We got to know when to respond and we got to know when to be quiet. There was an old saying that says, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. That means that you got to know when you need to respond and you got to know when you don't need to say anything at all. Because can I tell you this morning that everything does not need a response. The truth of the matter is there are a lot of things that we don't even need to respond to. We just need to ignore them. So I'm talking about self-care as it relates to our emotions. Being in control of who you are is so vitally important. Why is it important? It's important for you to be in control of who you are, because if you are not in control of your emotions, then you will allow other people to be in control of your emotions. What do I mean? When you're not in control of your emotions, if others do things to trigger your emotions, what do I mean when I say trigger? When others do things to push your buttons. Can I tell you that sometimes people do things, they push your buttons to see if they can get a reaction out of you. They push your buttons to see if they can get a response out of you. Can I tell you that people do things deliberately sometimes to see how you're going to respond and to see how you are going to react? Your emotions. You got to control how you react, control how you respond. When you know your value, you realize that you don't have to respond to everything. When you know your value, you realize that you don't have to try to prove yourself. You don't have to try to do anything. Why? Because you know your value, you know your worth, and what? You don't have to prove anything to anybody. When you know your value, when you know your worth, you don't have to try to prove yourself or prove the point that you're trying to make. No, not when you're in control of your emotions. But when you're not in control of your emotions, then you feel like you have to defend yourself. You feel like you got to respond to everything. You feel like you got to reply to everything. You feel like you got to say something back. Can I tell you, when you're in control of your emotions, when you know your value and you know your worth, you don't feel like you have to respond to everybody. In fact, the truth of the matter is, you feel like there are some people that you don't need to respond to, because you know and you realize that they are only doing it to jug at you, to jab at you, to get you to act out of character. But when you know your value and you know your worth, you don't allow anybody to cause you to get out of character. Now, don't misunderstand me. It does not mean that you're not going to get, when your buttons get pushed, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get upset sometimes. Oh yeah, you're going to get upset. But when you are in control of your emotions, you don't respond any kind of way. I'm talking about self-care as it relates to your emotions. People will do things deliberately just to see how you are going to respond, just to see how you are going to react. But when you are in control of your emotions, you don't fall into the trap. Can I tell you that you can't allow yourself to fall into the trap? The traps that they set out for you, they setting out traps for you to see what you're going to say, to see how you're going to react. But when you quiet, they don't know what you're thinking. Why? Because you didn't respond. And I'm trying to get you to see that self-care is what helps us to be able to control our emotions during this hurty time moment. Now, the truth of the matter is we've been in COVID-19 and almost a year now, and they're not like they used to be. There are some people who are getting out and doing things, but there are a lot of people who are still not getting out, still not doing those things that they would normally do. Girlfriends are not having the social life that they would normally have for good reasons, for fear of the COVID-19, because we've seen so much happen with COVID-19. And so if we're not careful, this could cause our emotions to react and to respond if we're not careful. How? Because we're relational. We're relational people. We like doing things. We like spending time with people. And we haven't been able to do that the way that we want to. Many of us have missed vacations. Many of us have not gone anywhere. And I don't know about you, but it is weighing on me. And when things weigh on you, this is when it is difficult for you to be in control of your emotions. So I want to help you see today that self-care is vitally important as it relates to being in control of our emotions. You must learn to fight off those times when you feel like you need to respond. When somebody sends you that text message to get under your skin, can I tell you that you don't have to respond? You don't even have to feel like you owe them a response, especially if they did it maliciously and you know they did it maliciously. Why would you respond? Why would you even give that any of your energy? And that's one of my words this morning. When you see somebody post something on Facebook intentionally and you know they're directing it to you, why respond? Why? Be in control of your emotions and learn how to ignore some people and learn how to ignore some things. That's what we got to do. And self-care is what helps us to be able to do this. And so I want to talk about 3 things this morning. 3 things. And the first one is energy. When people are around you, what do they feel? What do they see? Our energy tells a lot about us. You can tell when a person walks in the room. They don't have to say a word, but you can tell whether that person really wants to be there or not. Just by the energy. Have you ever been, say, at a gathering with some girlfriends and you all are laughing and you all are talking and one of them shows up late? And as soon as they get to where you are, the whole atmosphere changes. Anybody ever been there? I know I have. Because that person brought their negative energy to the space. How do you control that? You ignore that negative energy. And you do what? If you're in a gathering with the people that you were with, then you keep right on going. You keep the same energy going that you all had before that person got there. Because the truth of the matter is that person probably came to sabotage. They probably already had it in their mind that this ain't happening today and I'm going to be in control of this conversation. But see, you got to be able to control the energy that happens in the space that you're in. Even at work, we find people who show up to work. They come to work. You speak to them in the morning. Good morning. Can't even say good morning. And you be like, well, we just got up. This is a brand new day. And you walked in the office like this? You can't allow that to control your day. When they do that to me, I say it even louder. Well, good morning. Right? Because I want to let them know that just because you feel the way that you feel, it's not going to affect the way that I feel. Why? Because I am in control of my own energy. You got to be in control of your energy. You cannot allow anybody else to control your energy. Why? It's your energy. Your energy doesn't belong to anybody else. And there are people who try to do things deliberately to ruin your day, to ruin a good thing that is happening in your life, or to ruin a good season that is happening in your life. Social media will mess us all up, because people will see that you are doing great. People will see that things are happening in your life. And then you will have people that will try to sabotage that. Why? By talking to others about you. Right? But when you are in control of your emotions, your energy, none of that affects you. None of that affects you. I'm trying to get you to see this in this her tea time moment, that it is so important for us to be in control of our emotions. And self-care is what helps us to do this. We can no longer think that getting our nails done, getting our hair done, the days are old for us to see that as self-care. Those things make us look good, but those things don't do anything for us mentally or spiritually. Right? Those things are on the outside. And that's what a lot of us like to work on. We like to work on the outside. We like to show up looking like we are, to the nines. We like to show up. But on the inside, what do you look like on the inside? Yeah, you show up dressed to the nines, makeup flawless. But what kind of energy do you bring when you show up? Can people feel those bad and those negative vibes? I want you to know that you can feel negative vibes. And you don't have to be in a person's presence. You can feel a negative vibe from a text. You can feel a negative vibe from social media. You can feel it. You can know when somebody is putting something out there to be negative, to bring down somebody. But when you know your value, when you know your worth, you don't allow yourself to get pulled in to those kind of things. So today I ask you, how is your energy? What is your energy like? What do people feel when they are around you? Do you give a good vibe? Are people excited to be in your company? Are people excited to have a conversation with you? Whether it's by text, whether it's by phone, whether it's by Zoom, whether it's by FaceTime. Are people excited to be in your presence? Or are people, when they see you show up in a text message, they look at it and they be like, oh, not today. Or when somebody sees you at work, do they go the other way so that they don't have to say anything to you because of your energy? We got to take a real good look at our energy. And I know that we've all gone through a lot during this pandemic, but I'm telling you, this is not going anywhere. And if we don't get our energy in check now, right? This is when we're going to have overwhelming anxiety, stress, hospital visits, because we're weighted down. So your energy, I ask you to look at your energy today. I know you may be already into your day. You may be already at work. You may be, but ask yourself, how is my energy? What do people feel when they see me? What do people feel when they're in my presence? Do people feel intimidated when they're in my presence? Do people feel calm? Do I bring a calmness? Or do I bring anxiety? Or do I bring stress? Our energy levels are so important. And it's important for our energy levels to be in the right place. Because if they're not in the right place, this is when all kind of things happen. I'm talking about self-care as it relates to our emotions. Self-care is what helps us to keep our emotions in check. Now, don't misunderstand me. It does not mean that you're not going, you're not going to have some days where somebody really try you and push your buttons. You might respond. But you'll be more thoughtful and more careful about how you respond. What am I trying to say? That you won't just say anything. That you just won't allow anything to come out of your mouth when you respond. Why? Because you are more conscious of your emotions. And you're more conscious of people who may be trying to get the best of you or who may be trying to push your buttons. My next E is you got to be willing to do what is exciting to you. I'm talking about self-care as it relates to your emotions. It is so important for you to do things that bring you excitement. Why? Because of what we've been going through during this COVID-19, we need things to bring us excitement. We need things to lift us up. It is so important that you do things that bring you excitement. But before you do anything that brings you excitement, you got to know what excites you. Are you doing things because it's what other people want you to do? Are you doing it because you genuinely like doing what it is that you want to do? What excites you? What brings you happiness? What excites you? What brings you that inner peace, that inner joy? I ask you that question during this her tea time. Why? Because it's important for us to know the answers to the things that I'm asking. Excitement. Excitement needs to be a part of your life. And it has to be excitement for you. It has to be excitement for you. Why? Because it's your life. Yes, it's good to do things that excites others, but what excites you? What makes you happy? What do you enjoy doing? The days are long gone to do what brings happiness and peace and joy to others. Life is short. Good morning, sis. Life is short. You got to be willing to do what excites you. What gives you that peace that you need? That peace that surpasses all understanding. What does it for you? Why? Because what does it for you may not do it for other people. But you got to first know what excites you. What excites me? Let me tell you what excites me. What excites me right now in my life, there are many things, but the latest thing that I like to do is jump on my Spider, put on my helmet, and take a ride. Why? I feel so free. I enjoy the feeling. I enjoy the vroom vroom. I enjoy the sound. I enjoy being in the wind. Right? I can't let my hair be out because I got to protect myself. But I still enjoy it. I like how it feels. Now, many people that doesn't bring excitement to. The truth of the matter is that brings them fear. There are many who are afraid to do that. Now, mind you, I was afraid to do it in the beginning, but now, if I could ride it every day, I would. What excites you like that? What brings you happiness like that? What uplifts you like that? You got to know what does it for you. And see, the truth of the matter is many of us are looking at others to do that for us. Come on, let's ride. Go get it. Many people are looking for others to bring that excitement into us. They can't do it until you first do it for yourself. Others can't do that for you. That's where we get frustrations. That's where we get disappointed because we waiting on others, or we expecting others to do for us what we really need to do for ourselves. Or we can't tell others what excites us or what makes us happy. No, you got to be able to tell. You got to be able to answer that. If somebody asks you that, you ought to be able to answer that at the drop of a dime. But the truth is, some of us will have to be, wow, I need to think about that. I need to think about what brings me excitement. I want to help you in this her tea time moment. That you got to learn what brings you excitement. What makes you happy? What is it that you want to do all the time? It just gets you to that place of contentment. I'm talking about self-care as it relates to our emotions. And what I'm really trying to get you to see is that if we are in control of our emotions, that our energy level will be better and that we will have more days of excitement. And it doesn't matter what is going on all around you. There is so much going on in the world now. And if we're not careful, it will drain us physically, spiritually, and mentally. That's why you got to know what it is that you can tap into quickly to give you that uplift, to give you that energy. And it shouldn't be something that it takes a long time for you to do it, or something that you can't do often. You got to know what brings you excitement. You got to know what brings you contentment, joy. peace. And you got to be willing to do it for yourself if nobody else is willing to do it for you. You got to be okay with spending time with just you. If nobody else is around, you got to be okay with spending time with you. If you're joining late and you have not shared the live, do me a favor and share the live. I believe that this will be a blessing or an encouragement or motivation to some of your friends that may need to hear about self-care as it relates to our emotions. Emotions, energy, excitement. My last E is experiences. We must create experiences for our self-care. What do I mean? You got to stop waiting for somebody else to create the experience for you to enjoy self-care. You got to be willing to make your own appointments for your massages, for your pedicures. Make time for doing yoga. Make time for running. Make time for walking. Make time for exercising. You got to make time for you to have those self-care experiences, even if it means doing it by yourself. Some of us wait on people to go with us. Why? It's for you. Why you wait for people to go with you? Can I tell you that I will get on my Spider and go ride by myself? Whether any of my girlfriends want to go, whether my husband wants to go, it doesn't matter. I enjoy it enough to go and do it by myself. Going to the beach, I will go by myself. Go sit at the park, I will go by myself. Take myself to lunch, I will go by myself. Take myself to dinner, I will go by myself. You are responsible for creating experiences for your self-care so that you can control your emotions. You're responsible for that, not anybody else. And many of us are looking to others for them to do that for us, waiting for others to do things for. Why you can't do it for yourself? And then when somebody else doesn't do it for us, we got an attitude. We upset. And it ruins our day. Why? When you can do it for yourself. When you know your value and you know your worth, you don't have a problem with that. The truth of the matter is you enjoy spending time with just you. Why? Because you ain't got to deal with nobody. You ain't got to hear what nobody say. You ain't got to worry about nobody making comments. Like when I go shopping, I don't go shopping with people. I like doing that with me. Why? Because I don't want nobody talking about how long I take, how much money I spend, how much bags I walk around with. No, I don't have time for that. I want to take as long as I want to take. I want to buy what I want to buy. If I want to buy 10 pair of shoes, that's what I want to do. And I don't need anybody with me to my, oh my gosh, why are you buying that many pair of shoes? You got to create experiences for your self-care. That's your responsibility. Stop waiting on others to do it for you. Be willing to do it for yourself. Why should you be willing to do it for yourself? Because you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve that and more. You deserve all of it. During this her tea time moment. The point I'm trying to make today is is that self-care is vitally important to our emotions. And if we spend more time doing self-care, we will better control our emotions. We'll be in a better space and a better place. I learned this the hard way. This is why a lot of us deal with anxiety, stress, sleepless nights, restless days, mind all over the place. Don't know if we going or we coming. Self-care as it relates to our emotions. So as you think about your emotions today, as you think about your energy today, as you think about what excites you, as you think about the experiences that you will create for you. Why? Because it's for you. This is how you be your best self. By working on you. By spending time with you. Quality time with you. Just a few suggestions for those of you who are not big on self-care. Journal. Journaling is one of my favorite things. And this self-care journal right here, or no matter what journal I'm writing in, I let it all out. I let my feelings out. Right? And I always date it when I'm journaling. Why? Because when I go back and I read it, it lets me know the space that I was in during that time. And the other reason that I date it is because I see the space that I was in 2019. And thank God in 2021, I can see that I'm no longer in that space because I have grown and because I have put in the work that I needed to put in to get me from the space, the head space, the mind space, the spiritual space that I was in 2019. And I'm no longer in it in 2021. I journal like crazy. Now, many of us don't like to write in a journal because we're afraid that somebody might find it and somebody might read how we feel. Let me tell you what you can do with that. If you don't want to write it in a journal, just grab a piece of notebook paper or a piece of copy paper and just write out how you feel. Write out as much as you need to write out. The important thing is to get it out of you. That's why you write it on the paper, to get it out of you. And if you are afraid that somebody is going to find it or somebody going to read it later, you know, many girls or many women who were girls before said that they felt violated. They used to write in that, we used to call it a diary when they were small, and somebody got a hold of their diary and then they would bring up what they wrote in their diary. So many felt like they were violated. And that's why a lot of women don't like to write. Well, the answer to that is don't write it in a booklet or your journal. Write it out on a piece of notebook paper or a piece of copy paper. And when you finish with it, rip it up into as many pieces as you can. Just rip it up, rip it up, rip it up, rip it up, rip it up. As you rip it up, you're ripping it up over the trash can, right? Ladies, when we put things in the trash can, we don't go back into the trash can to get it, right? Why? Because it's trash. Trash that we no longer need. Trash that we no longer want to deal with. So rip it up into as many pieces as you can. Many pieces as you can. And throw it in the trash. You know, we all get Publix bags, Walmart bag, whatever kind of bag. Put it in that bag, tie it up, and throw it in the trash can. You don't need it. What you did was you got it out of you and you got it onto paper. That's what you did. Journaling is so vitally important. Meditation. Meditation is so important. Meditation forces you to center. It forces you to get quiet. It forces you to pay attention. You can do meditation many different ways. Yes, you can do it in the morning, or yes, you can do it at night. You can do meditation in a park. You can do meditation in your front yard. You can do meditation in your backyard. Can I tell you that one of the things that I like to do first thing in the morning is sit and listen to the birds, the noises and the sounds that they make, the way that they communicate early in the morning. That does something for me. That's a type of meditation. Water sounds. If you don't have a fountain, that you can do it on your phone, YouTube. Just Google sounds of the ocean, sounds of the water. You got to make time to meditate. When we do these things, we are in better control of our emotions. Self-care as it relates to our emotions. Take a walk to release some of that negative energy. That energy that you no longer desire to deal with, or you no longer desire for it to be in your space. Another thing that I love to do, and I'm going to show you. Another thing I love to do, and it's an app on my phone, and it's called Happy Color. What it allows me to do, because I love to color, what it allows me to do, and for some reason it's not coming up, but it allows me to color on my phone. It allows me to color on my phone. Beautiful pictures, right? And I find this so relaxing, and it is so calming. So relaxing and so calming, and it gives different images. There it is. That's just the image that I hit. And see the circles at the bottom? It has a number in the circles. It has a number in the circles. And on the picture, wherever there is that number, when I hit it, that's what color that spot is going to be. I love to do that. I spend a lot of time doing that, especially in my quiet time. App on your phone. It's called Happy Color. It frees your mind, and it causes you to focus, because you're trying to do what? Trying to create a beautiful picture. Let me see if I can find one that I colored. Here we go. Those are ones that I took the time. Some of them I haven't finished. I love this. But see, you got to know what relaxes you. and what calms you, right? Talking about self-care as it relates to our emotions. You can ride a bike, or you can ride a motorcycle, like I like to do, or you can work out, you can exercise, you can run, you can do yoga. You got to do what's best for you. We can no longer look at getting our nails done, getting our hair done. We can no longer look at that as self-care because it's not doing anything for us mentally. Yeah, it makes us look good. And you might see it as, but does it really do anything for you mentally and spiritually? Yes, it feels good to put on that nice outfit, those bad shoes, grab that bad handbag. Yes, all those things are good. But what I'm trying to get you to see is that's the outer. And we do too much work on the outer and not enough work on the inner. But self-care as it relates to our emotions, we got to be willing to do more work on the inner, mentally, our mind, spiritually, our spirit, and our body. We got to be willing to do that. So in this Her Tea Time moment, I am so grateful for those of you who stopped by on this Friday morning to have either coffee or tea with me and listen to this discussion. And for those of you who made comments, thank you. I hope that this Her Tea Time moment was an encouragement to you, motivation. And for those of you who did not share, if you would share it so that it could be motivation and encouragement to someone who is on your page. I will come live again next Friday at 3:00 for her talk show, Her Peace Talk Show, with my guest, Dr. Shalita Mira. And we're going to be talking about self-care again, but it's really going to be dealing with why you so stressed out, because you trying to be everything for everybody, and that's not your job, position. That's not the space that you should be in. Also, if you are not a part of my private group for women only, Reclaim Her Peace of Mind, Peace, P-E-A-C-E, I invite you to join me over there. Ask to join the group. It's going to ask you a couple of questions. That's just so I can make sure that you're serious about being a part of the group. I will be in the group tomorrow morning. I believe I'm going to go live at 8:30, and I'm going to be talking about anxiety. In the group, I asked the ladies to give me some topics that they would like to be coached on if it was something that they could get coached on for free. And like 17 of them responded. And so tomorrow I am starting those. And tomorrow I am going to be dealing with anxiety. You are looking at someone who dealt with anxiety, and not just dealt with anxiety, but was hospitalized for 4 days because of anxiety. And if you have this book, my first book, Got Faith for the Journey, you've already read this story. But I'm going to tell you and give you suggestions to assist you as it relates to anxiety. So if you're not in the space, I invite you to come join us in the space. There is where I do a lot of things privately. I just finished a challenge at the beginning of February. I did a challenge, and you're able to go back and see the challenge in the group. It's all about women's empowerment. That's what I do. Empower women, motivate women. So again, I want to thank you all for joining me for this Her Tea Time moment on this Friday. I pray that each of you would have an awesome day, an awesome Friday. Do something for you, for your self-care. Do something for your energy. Do something for your excitement. Create experiences for yourself. Take care.